Welcome to the Great Lakes Smoke Podcast Show. What we talk about basically is the love and the passion of cigars, pipe smoking, tobacco, alcohol, brothers chilling out and having a good time, laughter.
Well, how else are you gonna, enjoy a nice bourbon?
And you kind of went animalistic on tobacco buying, haven't you?
And the Rocky Patel Pure and Simple. I don't know, that thing just tastes so good.
Aficionados, and welcome to another Great Lakes Podcast Show. Oh man, we got a great one tonight. We have one of the masters of the industry. We are super excited, and I know everybody is turning on.
Camera's over here.
And yes, the camera is turning on. Is in front of me, Bob, but I am still trying to get the job done. What time should I hop on? Dr. Gaby's asking me. I'm saying
right now.
Right now is good.
Anytime.
So let me answer.
Anytime's a good time.
Go on now. There we go.
That's the beauty of live TV, folks.
Just started. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
So
it's not dead.
it's not dead.
You're right.
We're pretty excited. Thank you everybody for joining us. We got a full house in the studio tonight. Listening, and we're going to have an update for you, of course, on everything that we do. Folks, get yourself a paper and pen, jot down some information, and you're going to want down some information from our guests. We're pretty excited. Get your watch party going. Get the word out. Share with everybody that you know right now.
And
Because,
get your yayas out.
Get the yayas out.
Wow.
All right.
Light up a stogie.
we can do that too.
And groove with us.
And we got the audience who yelling and screaming about what to do. And
there he is.
There's the man. We got him.
And we're going to be coming getting Dr. Gaby Kafie, who's our special guest this evening. While he's getting him set up, we're doing our regular routine. We want to thank everybody for joining us. We are super excited about this evening, and I hope you are too. In the meantime, special announcements are going to come up on the Chicago Pipe Show. We have the president here, Tim Garrity, will just kind of give a little bit of update what's happening in the house. We also have the president of the Kenosha Pipe Club, Gary Goldberg, who, for all you locals, might want to hear what's going on with Garrick and what's happening there. We'll put him on the spot. And also this Saturday, it will be the Chicago Pipe Club meeting at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
We can
6 o'clock.
get there at 6 because we're going to close. We're going to lock you in. At
Get there at
Arlington.
1, so you want to hang out a little bit before the meeting.
Absolutely, but we can
Get
hang
there
out all
at
the
10
time.
if you want a
But-
seat.
Yeah. Well, don't say that. Yeah, so we'll get there first. But we definitely
We got the chairs in the back. Nobody can sit on those.
Nope. Okay. All right. We'll go with that way. But yes, there's a lot going on. We're pretty excited. We just an introduction because we have a lot of newbies, Bob.
Yeah.
Guys, a lot of newbies are jumping on board, which again excites us for doing that. Let's introduce ourselves. My name is Ron Pecorini. My brother Bob
How you doing,
Pecorini.
folks?
We got the man sitting at the bar behind the scenes, the technical director, the guru of making this show happen, Kyle Gesso.
Good evening, everyone.
And then we have the one, the only, our cousin, the Chooch Master himself, Cousin Frank of Stump the Chooch Show.
Oh, what an introduction! What
a crowd! What a crowd!
What a crowd. What a crowd. What a crowd.
For this evening segment after Dr. Gaby, we're going to have a giveaway from Frank. It's a beautiful shirt. This
From
is
Frank?
No. This is from Honest Abe of Smoking Cigar Lounges.
That's a nice shirt.
And
Though.
this
I like that
is
shirt.
a beauty. All right. I'll give you a little close up if you can see it. But this is a beautiful shirt by Smoking Cigars there. Honest Abe. And so that is, they are
Florida.
in Florida, 13 lounges up and down the East Coast from
We did a
Miami
show
all the
from
way
there
up
3 weeks
past
ago.
West Palm Beach. Great place.
Great
Great
place,
place. Get
great people.
cigars. And also we can get the Kafie 1901
Yep.
cigars. So we'll be
Absolutely.
talking about that. But before we do get started, Kyle, would you announce our sponsors for this evening? And before we do that, folks, we are looking for new sponsorship. As you know, we've been advertising. I think we got 3 this week. We're going to be looking for more sponsors. You don't have to be involved with tobacco. You can be whatever you want. If you have a business, we're always looking for anyone to help promote your business, help keep our business going. Okay?
I think Famous Rays wants to be
Famous Ray?
yeah.
Oh, man.
Which one? Which famous Rays? There's about
The
So
one and
which one
only.
do you like?
Which one?
well, the original, of course. The original.
So the original Famous Ray. All right, Kyle, take it away.
Our first sponsor, Johnny D's Teas, out of Lakeville, Illinois. They are a veteran-owned company and take great pride in their work. Their goal is to not fulfill one order for any given customer, but to earn all future orders by offering the best products at unbeatable prices. Ask any of their repeat customers, and they'll tell you that their quality is always the highest, while their prices are the lowest. Shop any American Veterans Collection, and 25% of the proceeds will be donated back to the Veterans of Foreign Wars or the American Legion. Our next sponsor, loyalty, passion, courage. These are the founding principles of K by Karen Berger Cigars. The Maduro, the Habano, and the newly rated 93 by Cigar Journal, Connecticut. Do yourself a favor and check out this wonderful line of cigars that come from a completely linear company, from seed to your hands. And next, DAV Cigars out of New York. Decades of experience combined with true love and deep understanding of cigars result in the highest level of standard of each DAV hand-rolled cigar. Is RNA Treasures out of Tampa Bay, Florida, the last of a legacy. The last inventory from Thomas Cristiano in a warehouse where everything is aged and well kept for all your pipe and smoking needs. And finally, we have the Chicago Pipe Collectors Club, one of the largest and oldest pipe groups in North America, with the largest pipe show worldwide. Every first weekend in May. Always looking for new members, and if you're interested, please contact via Facebook. And back to you, fellas. We are done with the sponsors.
Yeah. Thank you. Again, we're looking for more sponsors. Let's help build your business while you help build ours. Thank you very much. Well, everybody, I know we're going to get right to it. There's so much other things to talk about. Tim, why don't you jump on quickly in Bob's seat here for a minute?
Take my
Jump
seat
here
for a second.
And we're going to hear a little bit about the Chicago Pipe Club. And then, Garrick, you'll jump on with Tim and talk about Kenosha and what's going on. And so, folks, Tim Garrity, the Chicago Pipe Club president. How we doing, Tim? What's going on?
Well, you know what's going on. It's March. Meerschaum Madness is in full effect, folks.
I don't think corn cobs count.
It's a meerschaum.
It's a Missouri meerschaum.
Yeah. So, we got our meeting next month or next week.
We got Saturday.
Saturday.
Same thing.
Saturday.
It's coming up.
It's coming up.
That was close.
Yeah, it's coming up.
Right?
Yeah.
We got a special auction for those who are coming up for our raffle. We'll be raffling off a meerschaum pipe for March.
A real meerschaum?
A real meerschaum. No.
It's not a Sears meerschaum.
Not a
Not a
Sears.
Sears.
Not a Pioneer, which is a pretty good one that I'm selling right now. Anyway,
And not one of those German composites.
no.
Nothing
A
from
real
Woolworths,
meerschaum
right?
pipe will be in our raffle this week. So come on out for our meeting at Arlington Pipe and Cigar. And, the show progresses. We're still, again, it's still a work in progress, folks. We're still going through the motions of getting things in place. More information will be coming down the pipeline. And, just keep it smoky.
There you go. Well, thank you, folks.
Thank you,
Tim
Tim.
Garrity, Chicago Pipe Club, with a little update. Peace out, brother. Thank you very much. Voila. And let's bring in Gary Goldberg from the Kenosha Pipe Club. He is the president, and things are raving up right now up in Wisconsin. Gary, how we doing?
I said, you may want
Yeah. It gives you a little bit of height. How we doing, brother? Long
Good, how are
time
you?
no see.
I know it's been too long.
It has been. Well, the winter's passing us by, and we know that Bob and I and Tim have been trying to get things going up in Milwaukee.
Yep.
Right next to where you guys are at, the Emporium, and we might be up there on Sunday.
Okay.
All right. I know you're not going to be around.
Nope.
But would you like to know any of your listeners, local listeners, get in touch with you and how to meet up and have a quick pipe?
Yeah.
with
So the Kenosha Pipe Club has now been around for 4 years.
Nice.
It's been a little ups and downs. Obviously, 2020 was what 2020 was, and so a lot of our meeting places they just didn't exist. So we're trying to figure this out as we get into 2021 and we get into the spring here, and it's just prime time to really kind of kick things off, renew it. So there's been a number of us local friends that we've been talking about just getting back into this. So you can find us on the Kenosha Pipe Club on Facebook. And that's the place where you can find us right now. And things have been a little quiet this last year just because of what it is. But there's definitely going to be a renewed interest. I'm getting a lot of actual emails, not from these guys, but also from local
I
friends.
sent you a card. Did you get it?
You sent me a card? I didn't get it. Must have got lost. It's,
What a nice guy you are, Bob. I
That's
tell
right.
you.
So we need to find a new way to market. For those of you who are local to Kenosha, you probably heard Andreas is no longer in business, which is a real shame. 110, 112 years.
That's history, man.
It is history, and it's a shame.
And it
But-
literally is history now.
It is.
It's too bad.
So we need to kind of, I think we need to take this opportunity to fill that gap,
Absolutely.
fill that void. So between our trips down to Cuban Experience, and we need to get up to Milwaukee as well. But
Gotta get to Milwaukee every Sunday, 3:00.
yeah, but for those of you who are in Northeast Illinois, Southeast Wisconsin, come check out the Facebook page. We'll get this fired back up again. And it's just, if 2020 has taught us anything, is that we really need to foster those relationships and get together.
Absolutely.
And I know, me personally, I miss seeing people's faces. So it'd be great to see you guys across the table, across the pipe, across a good cigar, over a scotch, a whiskey, and let's get back out in the streets.
Awesome. That's what we want to do.
That's what we want to do.
All right. You
All right.
got it. There you go.
All right.
Gary Goldberg, Kenosha Pipe Club president. Let's get it rolling up there, you Northerners. All right, Bob, let's have a seat and let's get to our special guest.
Yeah, I can't wait for
I
that.
mean,
Yeah.
this is
Oh,
a friend that Bob and I visited last February that was an absolute honor, a
It
pleasure,
certainly is.
and a lifetime friendship was developed with him and his family. We couldn't thank any more for the hospitality. He took us in like we were his, I'm going to say his uncles because we're a lot older.
Oh man.
Oh, man, oh, man.
You can't-
Stepchildren.
Well, it's not redheaded.
We would.
Wait, tell them the truth. Your middle names are the same, right? It's Fogey.
Oh, now we're fogies.
Mm.
Boy, sorry for the crowd in the background, rough crowd. But anyway,
We get no respect.
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen, tonight's honoring guest, Dr. Gaby Kafie.
Oh,
Thank you so much, man. I'm honored. You guys are. I can't believe how time goes by so quick. It's great to be back with you guys.
Been a year.
I love how your platform is just developed so beautifully.
Thank you.
I'll be honest with you guys. You guys are talking about needing sponsors. I'll be giving you a call tomorrow.
right. Very good. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
That's
you
awesome.
guys.
Hey, Val just jumped on from DAV. Hello there, Val.
Hey, Val.
Wow.
How you doing, Val? Just in time to hear you. You see, Gabby, everybody's jumping on. Your wife even jumped on. Say hello to Vivian for me.
I will. She just wants to make sure I stay in line.
Oh, she knows better.
No, she
How
loves
can
you
you get
guys.
out of line? That's all. You're always on front of your line and producing and working. That's all you do. I mean,
Yeah.
you have no free time.
I'm glad you guys had a chance to come down here, spend time with us. It was really beautiful. I mean, we got lucky.
We
It
did.
happened before COVID, and we snuck it in. Time flies, man. A year's gone by, and this thing hopefully will go away soon.
We hope so. We definitely
Somebody
hope
said
so.
Thursday, it's gone.
Oh, beautiful.
Thursday, it's all gone.
Well, I mean, in one way, Gabby, the industry, from everybody that we've had on the show, it seems like as if COVID was in somewhat a blessing for the tobacco industry, because everybody and everyone that we've had on and talked to have simply been busy. That's where they've been busy, and it's been fulfilling. And I think people have actually picked up more of the cigars because now they're working from home, they're
Right.
experimenting, everyone's kind of figuring out what's going on. I mean, the products have been flying off the shelf. So
Yeah, I mean, it's
For sure.
you know, the cigar industry's been the same for about 100 years in the US, right? I remember reading about United Cigar Company back in literally 1901. They had a franchise of 6,000 brick and mortar tobacconist shops throughout the United States. And our industry has been so heavy brick and mortar, we've been very resistant to adapt to technology. And what happened was that COVID forced the cigar industry to really adapt and innovate. And part of that, I think we realized that there's other ways of doing business. You know, we look, brick and mortar is the backbone of the cigar industry. But what happens is you found a lot of cigar brand owners, cigar company owners, factory owners living on the road. And what's happened is now that with COVID, a lot of that has come to a halt, a screeching halt. And we have found better ways, more efficient ways to connect with people. It's not the same as being in person. Nothing replaces that. But we're able to connect with more people, get the message across. And I think our brands have really benefited from that. So I think in the future, if we could see a world where it's half and half, I think it would be phenomenal. But I don't think we'll ever go back to the whole, you know, let's just say 300 events a year for your average cigar company. I think those days are coming to an end. It's going to be more like 100, and people are going to split half and half. But yeah, we've seen a boom, and not just us, but I hate to bring up the liquor industry, but the wine, liquor, spirits, whiskey.
Yeah.
Listen.
oh, that's going out the door too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the-
I think even births have increased.
There's a baby boom happening.
They certainly didn't need Johnny Carson around here the last year.
Oh, man.
Sure.
Gee, it's great, man. I remember when the pandemic started, and I thought we would, well, we did. We were locked at home for a good 2 weeks to a month. And the first thing I did was hit my local liquor store, you know, and I came home with like 20 bottles. My wife is looking at me like, are we throwing a party? I'm like, no, I'm preparing for the pandemic.
Don't forget, it's an essential business.
Yes, it is essential. That's
Well,
essential.
yeah.
Alcohol and tobacco, I mean, they go hand in hand.
Yep.
Mhm.
For sure. Hey, by the way, I just to let you know before we get into Kyle, I am smoking a San Geronimo, and it's
Wonderful.
unbelievable. It's a great smoke. It's one of my favorites from you. Frank,
Wonderful.
you got?
I have, of course, the 1901 San Andreas. I love.
Wonderful, guys. Thank you.
And Kyle, show them what you got today.
So and actually, it just arrived yesterday. I placed my order with you the last
Oh,
week.
nice.
So I got my order of the Maduro cigarillos
Wonderful.
that I'm actually enjoying one right now, and then the piece de la resistance is I got the Culebra.
Oh, no way. That's awesome.
So
I love it.
As folks can see at home, I haven't broke the seal yet. I was gonna
Wow.
break the seal on air here tonight with my little opener here, so we can all watch this. I am
That's
breaking this
wonderful.
seal.
Thank you so much.
And that's why Kyle's remote, so he doesn't have to share.
Yeah.
Look at this, folks. Look at this. man.
Look at that.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Smell that. Smell
so,
that
yeah.
right away as soon as you open it.
Yeah. Open up.
Oh man!
That's a really special cigar.
But
Look-
look at
We're
this.
one of the only Culebra cigars on the market.
Yeah.
We actually,
Look at this
Have
cigar.
you seen this
Oh
cigar?
man.
Hold that up, Kyle. Let's show the guys.
Guys,
this
look at
one.
this cigar.
They
Yeah.
gotta get off the
The
couch. and
audience
look.
is here.
Yeah, this
People
is-
want to see the cigar.
Turn it around. Just turn it a little
Yeah.
bit.
You
It's
see
three
that?
cigars.
Oh, I
rolled
haven't
up
seen
into
one of
one.
those in a long time.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's one of the braided.
Yeah. I've
That-
been,
yes,
been-
it's a braided cigar.
I've been following Kafie on Facebook and watching his posts. He's like, "They're coming, and it's."
Oh,
and
shit, that's
I was
awesome.
waiting. I was
Oh,
waiting
yeah.
online. As soon as those things dropped, I'm like, "Buy."
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Well, Kyle, stop talking. Light it up so I can smell it.
You guys are awesome.
Send it through the computer. will ya?
Yeah.
You know, it used to be when we would bring in a new cigar and we were excited and we'd start building it up and doing a press release. And this last batch that came in, I posted a little something, but I've been quiet because people love them. People really, it's a novelty cigar, but it actually smokes a lot better than people imagine. It's a great smoke.
Yeah.
Fantastic draw, great burn, good flavors. It's kind of like why I do what I do. That's where I focus, on. I always see the cigar industry as there's different companies in the industry. You've got your cigar makers, you've got your brand owners, and then I also like to separate the advertising companies that are really cigar companies as well. And then you've got the event planners, which are, the big, like Drew Estate is a big event planning company. So in order for me not to get frustrated, I have to know what category I fit into. And then I do the best I can in my own wheelhouse.
Well, you
And it's-
fit in every category as far as we're concerned.
Thank you guys. Thank you so much.
Really?
You got a palate taste cigar for anybody at all that wants to give it a try. Really.
I'm honored. Thank you guys.
Give it
It's
a try.
Yeah.
it's for me, cigars are personal. It's not just something that we make and sell. It's like literally I'm it's not that I'm OCD, but I think there's a certain eccentric nature, and combined with very meticulous way we work the tobacco, we make our blends, and we want everything to be very natural.
Let me stop you there if you don't mind.
Yeah.
You're going on a subject, and a lot of people don't know really who you are. How about we go to the history of the Kafie family?
Yeah.
Why don't
Okay,
we go from
okay.
there and start from the beginning? Let the people understand
The
how
humble beginnings. When you were a little boy.
Yeah. So, wow. I'm going to go back in time, which is that Culebra box that you had. It had a picture of my grandparents on it. My grandfather, my grandmother. So what's interesting is my grandfather went to Central America in 1901, and my grandmother was born in 1901. That's why
Oh, wow.
the brand Kafie 1901, for me, it's very personal. It's not just something that we invented.
Yeah.
But my ancestors are originally from Bethlehem. We're a Roman Catholic
Pennsylvania?
family. Yes. Yes. I think it's really neat how, we're all immigrants, right? And when we look at the history of where we came from and where we ended up, we made Honduras our home. I'm third generation. I'm my grandfather had 11 kids
Wow.
and about 50. I have 50 first cousins.
Oh wow.
And yeah.
Because they didn't have television back then, right?
Listen, that's what happens when you mix Catholics and no television. You have a bunch of kids.
The Irish know that well,
Yes, yes. I have one of the things my Vivian's grandmother says when they ask her why'd she have so many kids. She says, well, not all of them turn out good.
The more you have, the better luck you will have.
Yeah, that's funny. So my grandpa was a textiles merchant, and gosh, the family history of us in Honduras really began in the 30s and 40s. The family established a large distribution company down there. All the family worked for the family business, and generation after generation, the family businesses evolved from textiles, different linens, different apparel. Then it went into, in the 1950s, the whole dairy. They began to go into the dairy industry. Everything from cheeses to milk to orange juice to, cooking oils, butter. I mean, it's kind of funny. I go to Honduras, and the first 20 minutes that I'm in a grocery store picking up stuff for mom or myself, everything is made by the family. It's not a country with 9.5 million people. And the basic food groups are really what the family's focused on. And coffee as well. My wife's family's been in the coffee business since 1933.
Wow.
They founded the first coffee company down in Honduras called Café El Indio. And now it's turned into Café Maya. And then there's also the export component to the coffee. But what's funny is when we were very young, my parents had a dream to bring us to the US and have us grow up here and be educated in the US. When they came, I was 5 years old. My brother was 8, turning 9 years old. And mom's dream was to have us become doctors. And lo and behold, both of us became doctors. My sister came along. She was smart. She married a doctor. It was a lot.
It was a lot easier.
Yeah, there you go. Lots to talk about.
That was a shortcut.
Yeah, she's a great girl, man. She works hard. It's tough. I'd rather go through medical school again than be, a mom or a housewife or a homemaker, or have to deal with me for that matter. You know what? It's really beautiful story. It's we're going on 120 years in Honduras.
Wow.
And I mean, down there saying the name Kafie is like, I don't, I don't want to be pretentious. We're very humble. None of us got anything.
5 million people. You're all related, right?
Well, he's got 51 cousins.
50 cousins gets around.
Yeah.
You must have populated the whole place.
Listen,
Can we petition to change the name of the country to Kafie?
there are a few families that are similar to ours, but very few.
You allow them in? They're the tokens, I guess.
No, man.
See,
It's
what
all
I'm-
good.
I'm-
We're very, we're very low key. Everybody's very, the family that's in business is so passionate about it that they're so focused. They stay in their lane. They do what they do. And we realize, all of us, no matter how big or how small, me being one of the smallest businesses in the family, we have a social responsibility to run our businesses in such a way that it's a blessing to the people that we impact, not just in Honduras, but all over the world, that people that are our partners in business. And so for us, it's not just about producing a cigar and selling it. It's really a lot deeper than that. So, every cigar that we produce, literally, we've had this talk at the factory, because we talk a lot about creating jobs and creating stability in countries like Honduras, where it's so important that the best way to create jobs and to guarantee stability in the region is to produce a great product. Like no matter, you can have the best salespeople in the world, but if the product's not there, you can't build on that. So our foundation is really focused on those basic principles of just doing good things, producing a good product, pricing it right, and making sure that we build relationships with people to make them want to come back.
Well, your cigars speak for themselves. I mean, anyone who picks one up and smokes it, obviously is a return customer, because it is one of the finest cigars out there.
Wow, thank you very much.
It truly is. It truly is.
Thank you so much.
Really, we've probably smoked at least 18 different lines of yours, and I'm not blowing smoke.
I don't know.
Yeah, you're not.
No, I remember blowing smoke.
Everyone is just a hit after hit.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Really, it goes back to your passion, to the type of individual you are. And you said you're the smallest out of your family. Kudos to that.
Thank you so much.
Because
Thank you.
you yourself did this on your own. You didn't even go to
Right.
which, but you did this out of your own pure love and passion. And thank God you're a young man to see
Thank you, man.
decades
Thank you.
down the road with you and your family. You absolutely put a fantastic product, and I'm not just
Wow.
you, buddy.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
We all have smoked it, and we're not going to push something we're not going to like.
And it's quite an achievement. I mean, because this industry, as small as it is, there's a lot of competition. Let's face it. Yeah, there's a lot out there to smoke.
There's so many other brands. The boutique
But
industry alone
your
has
brand
grown.
is always outstanding. I mean, wherever you
Wow.
go,
Yeah.
I mean, any place that I've gone, your cigar is always there, and I've never heard anything negative.
That's awesome.
People
That's
always
awesome.
rave about your cigars. I know I do. I really.
Thank you
I
so
think
much.
it's one of
Thank
the
you.
best.
That's amazing feedback, you guys. And it's not about one person for us. I've got my right hand man, Oscar Ferreira in Honduras. We had this crazy vision. So Oscar was going back about 6-7 years. He had a small box factory in Honduras, and he made cigar boxes for a lot of different brands that were down there at the time. And I was working with the Reyes family from Rolando Reyes Sr. If you guys remember the brands Puros Indios, Cuba Aliados, the Cienfuegos, the Rolly, I'm going back 20 years, 30 years. And one thing led to another. And I knew that in order for me to achieve what I wanted, I needed to have my own cigar factory. So my kids are young. They're 9 and 12 years old. I can't go live down in Honduras. So I convinced Oscar to trust me, and we built a cigar factory from scratch back in 2016 with the vision of building a cigar factory that was compliant to FDA standards. I'm talking about hygiene. I'm talking about floors. I'm talking about having different stations, washing hands, eating, things that we take for granted. You look at your typical cigar factory, for example, and the floors are just raw concrete. And raw concrete is porous, so being a doctor, I learned a lot about OSHA standards with hospital hygiene standards. So we built a factory that was really designed so that if the day ever came that we get inspected by the FDA, which I think it's going to happen in the future, we will be able to pass those inspections. So we really spent a lot of money that wasn't necessary, but we have that foundation which gives us the peace of mind to focus on what we want to do, which is our craft and to make good cigars. But it's really, I got to tell you guys, man, this whole, since 6 months ago, I did an interview, and it's these interviews that really allow me to reflect on all the freaking crazy stuff that we've done. But I don't think I would do it over.
Yeah.
Knowing you would, because you said you're kind of a perfectionist. You are going to keep doing it until you get it right. And we've seen what you've done down in Honduras. You and Oscar,
thank you.
Fantastic job for the people, for your workers. You give your workers a better place to work at. They're going to produce for you. You make them happy. You show them that they're part of the business, a family. Yes.
La familia.
Yep.
Yeah, 100%.
They're going to produce for you. You get back what you give. The karma is wonderful down there, and
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And how is the new factory going? I mean, the last time we had the bulldozers and all of that going.
Well, that's the new box factory. It's 6 months away from being completed. It's been about a 2-year project, and Oscar is in the process of building the largest, most beautiful cigar box factory in Honduras.
Wow!
And the cigar factory is a separate property, which we didn't want the two close to each other because of all the sawdust from the from the wood cutting and sanding and all that. But it's been a massive investment. It's been a lot of work. And those guys, I'm telling you, I mean, they're all in. And it's that same philosophy that I have. We are 100% in. And the beauty of it is that we really take care of each other, making sure that each and every step that we take is good for all of us together. You know,
I'm just curious. I'm sorry, Kyle. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying that it's an awesome feat. You know, that's to get to that point where you have the means and the wants to get to that. You know, separate box factories and going. You know, that you're growing so huge that you know the demand is dictating where you go. So.
You know, it's beautiful on the cigar, because Oscar's main business is cigar boxes, so I respect that. But on our cigar factory, separate from the boxes, that's something that we want to remain boutique, meaning a million or less cigars a year. Last year, we produced close to 600,000 cigars. It's quite amazing. I mean, it's
for a small company.
Yeah, I never imagined that we would get to that level. I mean, our business has, and I'm a very analytical person, not just with the business, but also financials, and 30% growth on average year over year for the past 7 years.
Wow.
It's been an exhausting journey. Thank you guys very much.
That is unbelievable and awesome. Congrats.
Thank you guys. And I owe a lot of it to my family, to my wife. I mean, what a great support system, to a lot of the other guys out there, because we do produce brands for other people.
Okay.
For them to trust us, you know, with their brands and their blends. It's been amazing. It's listen, guys, this is awesome. I love this life that I'm living now. I loved being a doctor, but this is also, it's a different way of giving back.
And you know, your friend Charles from Aruba said, Gabby does it all. Labels too, beautiful printed equipment. I mean, he's giving you a lot of kudos, Charles.
Thank you, Charles. I love Charles, man.
Charles Aruba. One day I'll get there.
He's a good guy, man.
Just a little question about the cigar boxes, just my own personal interest. Do you still use lacquer down there, or is that you've gone into the acrylic finishes for the boxes?
So we're not doing the acrylic finishes. It's all lacquer.
Lacquer, huh? Wow.
We do focus on using all Spanish cedar as much as we can. There's a lot of people wanting to produce using different types of woods. There's one wood called Okumen. There's different types of plywoods. And the thing with a cigar box is that it has to breathe also, you guys. So the thing with Spanish cedar is that it allows it to breathe while still retaining the oils on the tobacco. Whereas, like, say, a plywood box, because it's several glued layers of wood, that box doesn't breathe at all.
No, not at all.
And it really does, whatever the box smells like, the tobacco will pick it up.
Sure.
And a lot of people don't know, but Spanish cedar also acts as an inhibitor against tobacco beetles.
Yeah, and insects.
Yep. So when you switch to other woods, or you have paper boxes or dress style boxes, plywoods, all of a sudden you've really gone away from the traditional components of what a cigar box should be.
That's what it should stay. It's traditional.
Yeah.
Spanish cedar's always been it, and it should continue.
I think so. It's a little more expensive. There's not that much supply of Spanish cedar. So once you get into the mass market cigars, it's really hard to put everything into Spanish cedar boxes. That's when people start switching over to other. I tell everybody, if you're going to buy a cigar, pick up the box, smell the box.
Oh, yeah.
And then you'll know what type of a cigar you're really getting.
Absolutely. I agree.
Great little tip, folks. I hope you're... That is good.
We always smell it when you get that cigar.
But a lot of people that are listening might not know that, so that's a great tip for people to know.
Yes.
Well, and even on this cigarillo box, I mean, it's just a simple little thing, but this box still is an artwork to me. I love this little thing. It's awesome.
Listen, that is still a Spanish cedar box. If you smell the box.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and that's cedar, but it's a beautiful, simple design, and I love the simplicity of it. It works.
It's great, man. look, we had a choice to go with a paper style box, but I can't, man. It's like I can't. It's like buying your wife a beater upper old Ford. No, man. My wife doesn't ask for anything, but you got to give her good stuff, man.
All the women need their good stuff.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, cardboard box.
Yeah.
Stay on track. Don't change anything.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, guys.
I once had a special box that I got from a box of Cuban Oz back in the 90s. And the top of the box was glass. So you could see the cigars.
Wow. Yes.
Okay.
It was truly like artwork.
I have that box.
Yeah, if he could find it, ask him if he could
Yeah.
find where that box is.
I know exactly where the box is. I ordered one. I got it, and it's still filled with cigars. It's got the glass top, and it's got a little in cedar block. It has a level.
Yes.
But they used
Wow.
Yes, it has a level on it.
They used to know when the stacks were level. Yeah, I kept the box. I had it for like 20 years. I still got it inside of a Tupperware.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Tupperware.
I have to ask Kyle a quick question.
Yeah.
Is that a virtual background or that is real?
No, this
He lives in a bar.
I-
He's a lush.
this is my own personal area. I hang out here all the
Because I
time.
was gonna say, man, you are styling. I love it.
He's living the life. They've got me with Winston Churchill.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Nothing wrong with that.
That's awesome.
Another cigar aficionado.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I need to pick up my liquor game. Definitely.
Yes. Yeah. This is like where the high stuff is. I keep the low stuff over here.
The
so.
cheap stuff. So when I come over, you'll give me that stuff.
You'll get on the ladder.
You'll
and give
get
you the
top
high
shelf.
stuff.
That's awesome, man. I love it. I love it.
So, what else? Before I forget, tell the people how they can actually order your cigars and where they can go to find out more about the Kafie line.
So our main website, you guys, is cafe1901.com. You can see everything on there. Beautiful. Thank you, man. And yeah, our email address is info@cafecigars.com. We developed, when the pandemic began, I think I'm the only guy that's pretty damn honest when it comes to sales during the pandemic, because we were so heavy brick and mortar. With about 700 retail partners in the US. We saw sales drop about 80% to brick and mortar shops in the US. And it was pretty scary. It was scary to see what the pandemic had done the first 2 or 3 months.
Sure.
So what we did is May, June, July, I literally put together a team of web developers, and we built a website called boutiquesmoke.com. And because here's the thing is we have about 145 different products that we make, apart from our 6 different lines of coffees. And as many brick and mortar retail shop owners that we have as partners, not one of them carries all 145 different products, So
Yeah, you got to do something about that.
What can we do to help you do that? Because it's a mistake. They're losing out, and
And they should carry the coffee too.
Yeah.
Well, yes,
Oh, yeah.
and we're going to get into the
Because that's
coffee
really
later.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
But as we're talking, Gabby, our good listener Bruce Stark, he just ordered a box of Calibre from you.
There you
So
go.
Awesome.
that's coming on
Nice,
board.
Bruce.
Thank you so much.
And Mike Pitchard from Australia is listening and wanted to say hello from
Hey,
Australia.
Mike, how are you? Thank you, Bruce. These guys are great, man. What beautiful people.
Yeah, this is like the Jerry Lewis Telethon.
Yeah.
We on and people sending money, calling,
Yeah.
Look at us, we're smoking.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love it, man. So, we built boutiquesmoke.com to be a direct-to-consumer website, but with a caveat. We have affiliate partners. So let's say, for example, we have a cigar shop that carries our stuff in North Carolina, and now they were closed for 2 to 3 months. Well, now that retailer can direct people to the website, and all the proceeds go to their account.
Oh,
that's
awesome.
wonderful.
So we really found a way to innovate and adapt to where we can keep our product flowing and keep our retailers receiving the proceeds of all those sales.
That's a
That's
beautiful
So
awesome.
thing.
it was a big investment. It was 4 months of strenuous. I'm not kidding. I was borderline going nuts. It's not easy to build a website in 4 months with all the photography, the WordPress, all the language, all the verbiage, making sure it works great, all the tax licenses, credit card processing. I mean, it is something that I was not expecting we would take it on, but it did turn out to be a great blessing. And it's also a place where our retailers can place wholesale orders.
Oh, that's nice.
So, because our company doesn't have any sales reps. So if somebody wants to carry our stuff, let's say like we got some guys in West Virginia, Mountain Smoke, right? That's the name of the shop. They go on the site, they have their special code, they place their orders there, they get wholesale pricing, and it ships out the same day. So it's really been, I think we're doing stuff that very few companies are doing our size, but we really want to make the process of carrying our brands a lot easier.
Yeah.
You know, salespeople are great, but they're hard to find, you guys. And with the pandemic, they just weren't traveling.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we got to get you a sales force. We got to get you out there.
By the way, that wholesale code was what?
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Yes.
I think you're
You guys
looking
want to
for
put it up on the show right now?
Yeah, I think you're looking for a
No,
rep in the
between us.
Chicago area. Yeah.
Hold on, Kyle. Kyle's trying to get in here. Say that again.
Here,
I said-
let me whisper it so nobody will hear it.
It's like I'm pretty sure
I
you're
got it,
looking
I
for a
got it.
rep in the Chicago area.
That's
I'll rep
great.
you in the Chicago area.
Oh, no. I
I
go.
love it. I love
I
it.
go first. You take it from me. I tell you where to go. Everything down 80 is yours.
You know what I've experienced, and this is kind of ironic, right? Like you'll get a rep, let's say in Chicago, right? And that rep might have 3 other brands, but then he'll take on our line just for the sake of suppressing it so that he can keep selling his line.
You're
And
kidding.
listen, we caught on real quick, and we can't. I've been through 18 sales reps.
No.
I'm a straight shooter, and you know what, man. We it's funny. I have this saying, right? In Christianity, we say, "What would Jesus do?"
Mm-hmm.
In the cigar business, I say, "What would Padron do?" And you know what Padron does?
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, Padron has no salespeople.
Right.
Right.
Okay,
They don't
that's right.
need sales.
He
Yeah.
doesn't need it.
Yep.
The product speaks for itself the
Yeah.
same way yours.
If you build it, they will come.
Yep.
They will smoke.
And that's what we're
Yeah.
finding. Yeah,
If
we're
you
very
roll it,
blessed on
we will
that.
smoke
We
it.
don't have a. I wish we had one, but we it just worked out that we don't. I don't like to force things. I think they should happen natural.
Right.
And I think the stores and the connoisseurs end up winning because, you know, people are buying factory direct, distribution direct. There's no middlemen anywhere. It's really a beautiful scenario, and it keeps our business easy. You know, sometimes you have a sales rep that might be having a bad day. So
Yeah.
if he's having a bad day, he's giving your product a bad image.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And, you know, so I understand the complexities of sales forces, and it's, I think we're blessed where we are. I think the other thing that really saved us last year was the fact that we're in so many different countries doing business. Because as, for example, like say Hong Kong was the first country to shut down, China, and being the first ones to shut down, they were also the first ones to reopen.
Mm-hmm.
So when we were in June, July, August here feeling the pain, they were placing orders.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Kuwait and Pakistan and Bahrain and the whole country, 44 different countries, made it so that 2020 we were up about 35%.
Wow.
That's
That's
awesome.
oh
Yeah.
my God, that is awesome.
That's awesome.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know how this year will turn out, but I think it looks like it's going to be on par with last year so far. You know,
Man, that's
That is
wonderful.
fantastic.
That's great.
It's crazy when the world is ending. People just want cigars.
Yeah.
Well,
That's the way to go.
I happy.
And therein lies the crux.
Here it is.
There it is.
We all go out together happily.
There we go.
Listen, there's a researcher out of Italy that did a thesis on COVID and our immune system, our T receptor cells, and it turns out where the COVID virus attaches to our B lymphocytes or our T cells, there's a specific receptor where it kind of goes and it wants to attach there, right? And it just so happens that he was doing a research project on nicotine, right, and cigarettes. It just so happens that nicotine in cigarettes, I'm not saying go smoke cigarettes. I'm not a fan. I don't smoke cigarettes, but nicotine actually comes in and binds to your T and B cell receptors.
So the virus.
When you, yes, who said that?
As Jeff
That's
Rice,
Jeff. Yep.
Yeah,
the Chicago Pipe Club board member.
But cigars have nicotine too, so
very little, correct.
But still, it's there. So alcohol, I heard, also inhibited. So between these two, you're good, man. You don't need
Listen,
no.
you know, I think viruses look for a perfectly healthy host. And if you're drunk all the time,
Alcohol and smoke keep the virus away.
And you don't even know you got it.
When are you going to start writing prescriptions for us?
I missed that. What did he say?
When you're gonna write scripts for us?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. But you know, going back to the Native Americans, right? You know, the medicine men.
Yeah.
Guys, you know, when they would go into, let's say, the teepee of somebody that was ill, the medicine man would come in there and burn tobacco, and
I
they
thought it
didn't
was
even
peyote.
know. Yeah, the alkaline air, the high pH in the air actually killed any pathogens in the air. So
Wow.
I'll tell you what, man. I mean, I'm not going to quit smoking cigars anytime soon.
Neither are we.
No.
And I think we should start taking some peyote too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I swear.
Are you taking new patients?
Yeah. Hey,
Are you taking new patients?
They
That's
want to
the
know.
question.
The audience wants to know.
That's awesome. That's
Taking
awesome.
any patients. There we go.
So we have a listener, Dan Sawahi. I'm sorry, Dan, if I messed that up.
I'm sure you did.
Probably.
Yes. Hi, Dan. How are you?
He wants to know when you're going to come out and do cigar events so people
Yes.
see your face. And you know,
I
we-
love
we
Dan.
all-
I love
we're
Dan.
up here in the Chicago area. So when you're
So-
ready, we're ready for you.
So to answer that question, you guys, we right before the pandemic, we were actually going to bring in a team to take over the office here in Miami so that I could be freed up and start traveling.
Mm-hmm.
And that put a stop to everything. So I think in the next 2 to 3 months, hopefully we should be getting back on track so we can have a full team here, and then I can free my time up to go visit people. And
Hey, you guys
Beautiful.
are lucky down there. I mean, at least you got DeSantis for a governor.
Yeah, really.
Like,
yeah,
You know, Jesus.
Good, great governor, man.
mhm. I think Florida's done very well with the pandemic.
Yeah.
I see it. Yeah. You know, I don't get into the politics of the pandemic because you look at the science, and I believe in the science, but I also believe in common sense.
Right.
And,
That's
you know, like I'm all about keeping, you know, the old and the sick at home and let the young and healthy go out and, you know, keep this economy going.
And
But-
get the virus and be over with it.
Yeah, I agree. Look, JP Morgan Chase came out, 2 days ago and said that we're going to have the strongest year ever with an 8% increase in the economy this year in growth. 8% growth, which is unheard of. I mean, the last time we had that type of growth in our economy was 1956. So everything should be on par for a good, strong comeback.
Throw it up after what we've been.
Well, yeah, exactly.
For
Yeah,
sure.
people are ready to get out and about.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And I mean, having been, Frank lives in Florida, and I was just visiting him, as you know, because we tried to get down to see you, and unfortunately we couldn't. But I mean, it's like really almost nothing is going on there. People are just
Living their life.
their lives. Everything is normal. All right, so you wear a mask, to go into a store, but that's it. I mean, no one's freaking out about it.
Yeah,
It's wonderful down there.
So I'll give you an example, right? I'm from Honduras, and in Honduras we have something called dengue fever, which you get from like a mosquito bite, and it literally, I think, is more dangerous than COVID.
Wow.
And so what happens is you have so many foreigners that live in Florida that come from different countries where, oh my God, the stuff they've been exposed to is a lot worse than, God, I grew up being exposed to third world countries. You got tuberculosis, you got malaria, you've got things that can really kill you. So
I'm from New York. I've been exposed to everything.
We've taken the subway and touched a lot down there.
Yes, sir.
And a lot of things we don't talk about.
Well, those things, penicillin took care of that.
Yes, exactly. We don't want what happens in New York stays in New York. All right, forget about
VD
it.
is nothing.
That's funny. That's funny.
I can tell you this, guys.
I got to tell you guys a nice little segue, and I got to pay tribute to the guys at the Boutique Cigar Association. The past 4 years was amazing. We did a lot of great things. We put our minds together. We fought for the cigar industry. We achieved some great battles, and it wouldn't have happened without the support of CRA and PCA. I mean, the industry really came together to fight this, the FDA that wanted to put a lot of people out of business, not knowing that they were putting us out of business.
I would like to just stop you for 1 second because you brought this up, and I want to say thank you personally, because I know for a fact that it was your letter that stopped all the bullshit.
Wow.
Yes.
You are the man responsible for putting them right in check.
Thank
And you know what? And let's thank everybody in the cigar
Listen.
industry who fought the FDA
And is still fighting.
and won in court. So now all those stupid ass warning labels are off the
Yes.
stuff again.
Listen, I can't take credit.
Oh, you do.
No, I can't. No, I personally won't, because my mentor was Glenn Loop at Cigar Rights of America. And his passion was very contagious. And when you're family owned, you don't have a choice but to fight. And what happened is it was an evolution of our business becoming an advocate for many other brands. And that's where the BCA kind of came from. We got 47 companies under the umbrella. So what happens, see, the government has a misconception of what a small cigar company is. They have a definition of $2 to $5 million a year in revenue. And when I saw how off they were, I made it a mission to really put together and properly define the boutique cigar companies, our income bracket, our way of working, and really, because if you don't see who you're putting out of business, you don't really care for them.
Mm-hmm.
So when we demonstrated to them, all the families, all the companies, all the regions, all the locations, all the constituents that would affect, future elections and votes and all this, they began to listen. But they would not have listened had CRA and PCA not really taken us they took us to the big table.
Mm-hmm.
And the biggest table of all was last year, October of 2020. Yeah. We had a meeting with the director for the Center of Tobacco Products at the FDA, Mitch Zeller. And at that meeting where I was honored to be there, it was George Padron, Carlos Fuente, and Drew Newman, along with members of CRA. And the four manufacturers, us, that we were there, we really got to tell our story direct to the director for the Center of Tobacco Products. And we made really good advocacy why premium cigars are different than all other combustible tobacco products. And it was at that moment that they got the message loud and clear. And I don't know if it was coincidence or just the planets lined up for us, but a week later, the FDA requested of Judge Mehta up in Maryland to withdraw the lawsuit, that they wanted more time to review premium cigars.
Nice.
Well, that's because you finally made them, aware.
Yeah, but
It's not kids buying premium cigars.
no, not at all.
How many kids are paying $15 a stick?
They're
Or
not.
$10
That's
a
just
stick.
it.
But now Jeff just mentioned something to me earlier. He said today the
Not
FDA
today, it was earlier this week,
earlier this week.
that the FDA has gone ahead and implemented that new rule where new brands, new blends for
New blends of tobaccos,
tobacco are going to cost you the $250,000 a pop.
So
That was the old one from 2007
so
originally.
they actually put that in now. They put it in.
That is what I read.
Okay, so
Well,
that's
have you heard
not a good
anything
thing.
about
was
that?
from the cigar. That was from the
Tobacco business?
industry website.
Because I didn't read it today.
Any update on that, Gabby?
You guys are telling me I'm going to have to put my punching gloves back on?
I think you got to get back in
You
the
got to
ring
get on
for
that
us.
typewriter.
in the ring.
Son of a bitch.
Well, they put
Just when you thought you were out there.
I know, right? Dave? That's funny. So they I know they're taking a hiatus right now to really review the ANPRMs, which are I forgot what the acronym stands for, Advanced Motion for Proposed Rulemaking. The entire cigar industry wrote letters to the FDA, and they are taking the time to actually read that literature and reassess their position against premium cigars. But the beautiful thing about our industry, guys, and to keep it very simple, substantial equivalence doesn't work on premium cigars.
And that's what you pointed out. That
Right.
was good doing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you can't lump everything into one category, which was absurd. And they were trying to.
And I mean, let's just take a moment and think about the average cigar smoker is not a guy. I mean, I know guys that smoke cigars all frickin' day. But the average cigar smoker has a couple of cigars a week or something like this,
Those are
no, well, you know what? People don't always have time to sit and have one. But the bottom line is this, is that when you look at it in terms of addiction, in terms of health consequence, it's pretty minor when you consider that 85% of the consumers don't really consume all that much, and nobody's inhaling this stuff on top of that.
Right, and it's not all the chemicals like in cigarettes and all that really harmful stuff.
Correct.
So
And listen, hey, our grandfather used to smoke, I don't know how many White Owls and Dutch
God, yeah.
per day, and he lived to be 92. So I don't
He had
know.
Wow.
a cigar
Wow.
in his mouth every minute of the day.
And my
From
Wow.
the minute he woke up till he went to
And
bed.
that was my grandfather with a pipe,
Mhm.
and he lived to be 93.
There you go.
Well, the old timers we just thought about, tobacco is good.
And vino.
And vino.
Yes.
Yeah,
Nice red wine.
Red wine.
I think when he came out of World War I, he never stopped smoking a day in his life.
Let's face reality.
And back in those days too, the people ate better. There was none of that fast food stuff all the time.
Exactly.
I mean,
That's the key. More
Everything
natural.
was fresh foods,
Yeah.
no chemicals.
And
Yeah.
you know what?
You-
I'll say this right now. You may not be old enough to remember, but I'm going to tell
Who are you talking to?
Bob walked the planet with the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
I was the only one here. Come on, I was around when they made dirt.
My point is this: the food we ate as kids is not the food we're eating now.
No,
No,
that's a fact.
no.
Definitely not.
No, not at all.
Food, what the animals are fed, that has all changed dramatically.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All
Oh,
the
yeah.
steroids and
Yep.
everything else
Yeah,
that
yeah.
feed the animals.
And sugar.
So-
Sugar's the killer.
Yep.
To
So
go
Gabby-
back to his point, the average cigar smoker in the U.S. consumes 1.6 cigars a month on average.
A month.
That's a month, yes.
So tell me the health tell me about how that, if you take that number and you say, oh, the health risk from 1.6 cigars a month.
Well, see, the beautiful thing is that, by the way, he should pull up a chair.
He's sitting on the couch.
He's comfortable. I like hearing his voice from afar.
All right, beautiful. You know,
His wife.
So hold on. You know, the National Institute of Health did a 30-year research project funded by the federal government, and really studied premium cigar smokers to non-smokers. And after a 30-year study,
They couldn't find the difference.
it was inconclusive. They found that premium cigars don't really cause any other, you know, they're not more prone to anything than non-smokers.
No.
Yeah.
I
So
remember when I was in third grade, my teacher said, "Stop smoking those cigars because it'll stunt your growth." And I just didn't pay any attention.
third grade.
Yeah, it didn't stunt his growth.
Yeah, mentally, it's a different story.
It's done a different
That's
part of
not 67.
It didn't stunt his growth, but it lost his hair.
67, I was smoking other things.
It should be known that Bob only did it until he needed glasses.
Gabby, I got a couple of people asking you about let's see, Dan, are you going to the PCA show? And then we have, yes, all right. And then
Yes.
Barry wants to know, how is Rubio doing? How's he helping Senator Rubio? Yep, helping with the industry down there.
I think Rubio right now is on hold. He's in a holding pattern. There's no direct, as far as I'm aware, there's no direct fight at the present time. Florida is a pretty lax state when it comes to smoking. They did introduce a bill recently where they want to ban outdoor smoking everywhere.
Oh,
Outdoor?
Yeah.
Where, in Florida?
I think, yeah, you can't
Yes.
smoke outdoors. You can't smoke at the beach. You can't, I mean,
Are you kidding me?
Is that
Yeah,
turning into
but I don't think
How
California?
many millions of people are going to get up and leave now? Everybody's coming down there because of the easement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll have legs. I really don't, because
Look at the insanity that happened in New York and others.
yeah, New
places.
York, unfortunately, and I feel
can't
sorry
smoke
for
this
the
weed.
guys of Dove Cigars, but New York is, there's a lot of states that are really in trouble. They're losing a lot of business, and I think we're going to see a very big wave of commercial real estate. I don't want to call it a mortgage crisis like in 2008, 9, and 10, but I think that the financial impact of the commercial real estate industry just taking such a big hit
Yeah.
may push off some of these bills that are going to even damage brick and mortar more. Because if you have a place like Smoking Cigars where people go and hang out inside and outside,
Yeah.
it really kills it'll kill 50% of the business they do.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's got much legs, but you know what?
I mean, you look
These
at
guys,
California.
you know, our politicians don't get paid to just sit around and do nothing. So they
Really?
introduced,
Wow.
Oh, boy.
but they, listen,
Have you been hibernating for 50 years?
no, but what I'm saying
Can I
is,
offer you some? I mean,
yeah, but these guys, I think I said it the wrong way. They make up shit so that they have a reason to
There we
continue to be
go.
employed.
That's right.
they got a
It's
little
just,
bit, yes.
I'll tell you,
exactly.
we were at Corona a couple of weeks ago, and there were probably more people sitting outside because they have tables and down the length of the store, and there were more people smoking outside than there were inside.
yeah.
So yeah, people like that freedom about Florida. You can sit outside and smoke, and nobody cares. It's kind of like the way the world used to be.
I think the premium cigar industry is so small that what's going to happen is that, we've been lumped into the whole tobacco word, right? But when they do analyze our industry and what, last year we brought in 360 million cigars. It's nothing, guys. It's let me give you an analogy so you see how small the cigar industry is, okay? Honduras last year exported about 60 million cigars to the US.
Wow.
If you were to measure 60 million cigars into a 40-foot container, a tractor trailer, 40-foot container, that's about 100. No, that's about 120 containers, right?
Wow.
Okay.
Of cigars.
Oh, wow.
But if you compare it to the coffee industry,
Yeah.
Honduras exported 18,000 containers of coffee.
Holy moly.
Oh,
So that hopefully will put things into perspective of how tiny the premium cigar industry is.
Okay.
You have to look at the cost benefit analysis of, are we worth regulating? I mean, if you do regulate the hell out of premium cigars, what's going to happen is people are going to go to other tobacco products that are really harmful.
Yeah.
So I don't think we're a hobby. We're enthusiasts. We're not, we don't wake up in the morning. I don't want to say anything vulgar, but what do people do that are addicted to cigarettes? They wake up in the morning, they're sitting on the crapper, smoking a cigarette. I mean, come on, a cigar is really something to be enjoed. Late night,
and
or,
you just
or
said
they're
it.
actually smoking in bed and burning the house down.
I mean,
Well,
That's not a Kafie cigar.
No, the cigarette smokers.
Yeah,
Cigarette
you're right.
Smokers, they fall asleep with the
Cigarette
cigarette in bed.
smoking is a nervous habit.
Yeah, that's just it.
Right.
Every cigarette person I know is looking for their next hit. They're always chain smoking, going this and that. I knew somebody that would chain smoke 3 cigarettes on a car ride, like just one right after the other. They had to, just always doing it.
I smoked cigarettes years ago. I smoked 2 packs of Marlboro a day.
Ooh.
I remember when the alarm clock used to go off. I shut it off. Second thing I did was light up a cigarette. I smoke a cigarette going to the bathroom to start the shower.
Yeah.
I shower, I get out of the shower, I lit up another cigarette.
You mean
Another
you didn't
cigarette
smoke
going
in the shower?
downstairs, cigarette to the bus stop. It was like 4 cigarettes before I even really opened my eyes.
It was disgusting.
And I was that same person. But I'm going to tell you something. What they do to cigarette tobacco is so manipulated. And I'm going to tell you why.
It's horrible.
Because when I quit, I switched to a
reefer.
I switched to an electronic cigarette. So for the first 3 weeks or a month, I was taking in so much nicotine, I was making myself sick 3-4 times a day, and yet I could never cess my craving for it, and it took almost a month before I got past that, and my understanding after that experience was, it's not just nicotine that I'm addicted to. There's something else they're doing.
Oh yeah, it's all the chemicals they put in there.
That even makes that more addictive. Whether that's changing the pH of the tobacco so that you get more nicotine, or whatever it is that they're doing. I don't know what it is.
So let me interject, because I did a lot of research on, and I'm not here to bash cigarettes. They're just a different.
I'm not either, but
they're the potato chip of the tobacco family.
Bet you can't just have one, right?
So, with the concept of cigarettes is, it's a nicotine delivery device, period. The concept with premium cigars is that, I mean, think about it, right? We actually take the tobacco, we air cure it, we dry it for 3 months in a barn.
Yep.
Then we ferment the tobacco to eliminate the ammonia.
Yes.
And here's what people don't realize, and this is some of the research that I sent the director of the FDA, Scott Gottlieb at the time, Dr. Gottlieb. He's now with Pfizer. He goes where the money's at. I love him. He just wherever the money's at, he goes. And Dr. Gottlieb he was a venture capital investor in many e-cig companies when he went to work for the FDA. And one of the things that I told the FDA in a written it was like a PhD thesis paper, right? With all the different citations from different journals that and all the research I had was funded by the federal government, was that premium cigar tobacco is fermented in order to get rid of the ammonia. Now, that's very interesting because if you take nicotine and you remove the ammonia, the nicotine goes from a volatile ion to a salt. Now, that's the catch right there, because when it's a volatile ion, when ammonia is present, it's easily absorbed in the mucosa and in our lungs, right? But when you strip all the ammonia away, the nicotine becomes a salt. And guess what? It doesn't go into the body.
Yeah.
You know, it's really, and that's why cigars are not addictive, because it's not one of the research papers I wrote was titled Premium Cigars Are Not an Effective Nicotine Delivery Device. So, because the entire conversation with the FDA is exactly that, a nicotine delivery device. So it's really, you know, in our arguments against the FDA, you know, we're all playing, we don't want to go out of business. We don't want our beautiful boxes destroyed. We don't want the artwork destroyed. But the FDA doesn't give a shit about that. The FDA wants to know the science. That's what they do. So that's what I did. I did exactly that. I delivered the science to them. And I'll be honest with you guys, CRA, PCA, everybody was on board and we got the message across. But how long are we going to be out of the lion's mouth? I don't know. I don't have that answer. But I don't think they're going to, I don't think that they're interested in regulating us.
Yeah.
Well, it should never have gone into their hands anyway.
Correct.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That was a ridiculous thing to have done. They have no clue about what they're dealing with. And you pointed that out clearly to them. and I hope that it reverts back.
You know, when you say that it should have never gone to them, is going back to 2009 when I want to say
That's a fan.
I think it was, during President Obama, the Affordable Care Act. I never make the connection of, I don't call it Obamacare, I call it the Affordable Care Act.
Yeah.
You know, when the government got the authority to oversee our healthcare, it all of a sudden turned into a nanny state. And that's when they wanted to regulate everything that we consume.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So I've always had this philosophy is if you want to get rid of this insane regulatory agenda, we need to get rid of the Affordable Care Act. We can make healthcare affordable without the government having its tentacles in the system.
Yeah.
Well, this is true too. Yes. But
Thank you, man. I've said,
to get rid of the lawyers because they're really the problem here. It's the insurance companies.
And the insurance
Yes.
companies.
Lawyers. It always comes down to them.
And the
We need you back in the ring. We really need you back in the ring, man.
You got to get it back. Put those gloves back on. You got to come out punching again, man.
We need you as Rocky Marciano. buddy.
Yes, man. I love it. I love it.
Oh,
You know, we're putting the team back together as we speak.
oh, the band's getting back together.
We've got a new board. Armin and Val are a part of it. They're
Good people.
Nice.
We've got a
Nice.
lot of good people. We've got about 10 people right now coming together. We're having a board meeting tonight. It's a closed session behind closed doors, but we've got plans for the future. And
Can we sit in?
Can we sit in?
Do you mind?
I don't see why not.
There you go.
I'll have you guys sign the non-disclosure agreement. And then, perfect.
Absolutely, for sure.
But this is a great industry, you guys. I love.
It's a wonderful.
Listen, my mother-in-law is visiting from Honduras, and she's shocked at how much I work. Don't tell her this is not work.
All right, quiet. No, only 26 countries around the world, plus Honduras is listening.
But we have
Don't
the
say
code of silence. We have the code of silence. No one can hear.
It's a lot of. I think you got to work smart. The days of working hard are. I'm a believer that technology is going to change the world, and things, if you look at the bigger companies, Generals, Imperial, Drew Estate, Davidoff, they're really taking this whole virtual approach very serious. For them to pull out a PCA and do different things on their own, I mean, gosh, man, my biggest concern about the cigar industry is the fact that Imperial Brands sold to a Chinese firm.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Not good.
And, so when you look at, I don't know the exact structure of Imperial Brands as a company, but I know that JR Cigars is in there.
Yeah.
I know that Thompson Cigars is in there. Casa de Monte Cristos are in there. But to think that, the heartbeat of the cigar industry is now going to be controlled by China in the US, it brings a lot more value to what we do, I think, because we're like the last of the Mohicans, the family-owned cigar makers.
Yeah.
And I think it brings more value to us, but it also presents new challenges because they're going to want to lobby us out of business.
What can we do as the consumer?
You can fucking kick them in the nuts.
Yeah, we could do that.
I'm
just kidding.
Chinese food.
No, no, it's not. I don't have a problem with China. I love doing business with Hong Kong and China are two different entities, but it's the way cigars are perceived, because the Chinese see cigars as an ultra luxury market, but in the US, it's a very blue collar industry.
Right.
So I hope that they don't begin to price things so silly that they forget who they're dealing with here.
I think that's one of the things about again, going back to the insurance companies and how they have managed to get the ear of the government. And there are some states, us, one of them for sure in this state, who have taxed so much on tobacco products that they're trying to put it out of business. That's the reality.
Yep.
If they can't just find a way of saying, well, we're going to stop selling tobacco, because there'll be a major uproar, they're going to tax it to death, where people are going to say, I can't afford it anymore.
Yep.
And that's what really is kind of scary, I think.
This country has evolved a lot in the past 300 years, right? And after the era of slavery ended, right, and it really came to an end because it wasn't morally and ethically the right thing to do.
Correct.
This country became aware of that. I believe that the big pockets in America had to find an alternative on how to really get rich off of the masses, and unfortunately, see, taxes all began back in the day when governments would allow you to go set up your homestead. Like you can go set up a farm back. Same thing happened in Honduras. At the turn of the century in Honduras, the president told its citizens that whatever land you can afford to fence and pay taxes on, you can keep. So in essence, they didn't have to buy the land. They just had to fence it in and pay the taxes. The same thing happened in the US, but the different political parties really see tax with a different attitude. And let me summarize by saying this, just to be real clear. So, and I'm not hating on anybody. I'm just telling it the way it is, right? Republicans believe in easing the tax burden to allow the private sector to flourish, whereas the Democrats love growing their tax base so that they can grow the government. I mean, it's really very simple.
It's very simple.
That is
it's not.
Just said it.
Yeah, it's not rocket science. Like when President Obama went into power, the first thing he did was all attorneys that worked for the federal government got a 40% increase in pay. I mean, that's the first law that he passed. One of the bills it secretly passed. And then the government grew to become the largest employer in the world under President Obama. How is it possible that a freaking country with 350 million people, I think 20% of them don't even know they're alive, I mean, we now have the largest employer.
President, but that's another story.
I think it's wrong when the U.S. government is the largest employer on planet Earth.
Something definitely wrong there. Yeah.
You know, but I think things. That's why this democracy works. You know, we have 4 years of one guy, 4 years of another. It goes back and forth, because if it weren't for that, this would turn into the banana republic real quick.
Real soon. Real soon.
Yeah.
We're on the fringe right now. We're on the fringe.
So, Dr. Gaby, talk to us about, because I was reading a little bit about, you had posted something on Facebook, which I thought was very personal. It talked a little bit about who you were and who your family was, really, in regards to being outdoors people and outdoorsmen, and being a big sport fisherman, and
Wow.
the whole boutique smoke. I think that kind of struck a chord, and your whole new boutique smoke line, which sounds really exciting, because you're truly going to give back to your cigar smoking community by producing a quality cigar at a price tag that people can basically afford every day, any day. And I think that's just a testament to who you are as a person.
It is touching for me. It's personal. You know, when I left medicine in 2008, I developed a retina disease called central serous chorioretinopathy. What happens is the blood vessels behind the retina bleeds to the point where the retina detaches. And I had a double retinal detachment in 2008, which it was a tough time in my life, because I had dedicated my entire life to become a foot and ankle surgeon, a sports medicine physician. Right. My first year out, I worked with the Miami Heat. The second, third year out, I was traveling with different soccer teams around the world, professional teams. I settled down, got married, you know, started having children. And then that happened. And I found myself losing everything that I had. I literally lost everything, because we're self-made in my family. I don't care what each family member has. Each one of us is self-made. I went to college. I paid my own dime. I took out student loans. I paid them back. And I think that's something that's being lost in this country, is you got to teach people to make their own way.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Yes.
Absolutely.
It's called responsibility. And
yes.
And being mature.
It's what it meant to be an American once upon a time, before the system was poisoned by FDR.
Okay.
That's true.
It is true.
Yeah.
So my entire life, my father, my brother, and I, we were big fishermen, offshore, freshwater, lakes. I say lakes because we used to travel around West Coast. I had fished everywhere, man. I'd been down to Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Honduras, Panama, Pacific, Atlantic. I was like, my friends would joke that, you know, the only thing I needed to teach them was how to walk on water, because every fishing trip, I was very aggressive. I would do tournaments, big time. And it's kind of ironic.
I saw that picture of you and Hemingway down in the Keys.
Oh, look at that.
Wow.
That's a trophy, huh?
Wow.
So were you
The
picking
trophies from,
Holy cow.
Oh, you just missed it.
Okay.
Right. Was that a trophy?
I can pick. You want me to bring it up again?
Yeah, bring it up again. Bring it up.
People want to see
But I
that
was gonna
again.
say, did you do a lot of tarpon fishing?
Look at that.
Look at that.
Wow.
That's beautiful. Wow.
What the fuck?
And that is a horse.
That's a seahorse.
That's a-
Seahorse.
I didn't know they got that big.
Yeah,
That's funny.
that's taxidermy, but at its best.
That's a seahorse on steroids.
See what chemicals will do?
So that trophy was from the Hibiscus Rod and Reel Club fishing tournament. I forgot the year. I think it was 2007. The year before, I had my eyesight problems, and that was the most competitive billfish tournament in South Florida, and we won it.
Wow.
I had my own boat. I was the captain. We had our own crew. We didn't pay anybody. a lot of guys have fishing teams, but they pay a captain, they pay a crew, they pay,
Because they don't.
so it's not really their skill. It's just a rich guy that's paying a bunch of people to fish for him.
Yeah, yeah.
So the way I fished was old school. We did it our own way, or, get off the boat. If you didn't carry your own weight, you were off.
Right.
And you got that in the kayak, right?
So what happened was that in 2009, I started an offshore big game lures company called Roatan Lures. We made big game lures for marlin, different marlin, blue, black, white, striped marlin, white, all kinds of sailfish, Pacific, Atlantic. The Pacific, of course, are a lot bigger. People don't realize the Pacific Ocean has a lot more iodine content than the Atlantic. So iodine stimulates the growth hormones in all red-blooded creatures, so they grow bigger.
Okay. No, I didn't know. Okay.
Oh yeah,
And-
your thyroid needs iodine for you to exist.
There we go.
Right.
Dr. Jeff in the house.
Another fisherman over here.
Yes. So
Yeah.
one thing led to another. I started making lures in the U.S., designing them, trademarking them. In about 3 years, we were, I want to say 27 countries. I'm very aggressive when it comes to getting the product out there.
I can see that.
Yeah, very nice.
I know. I think we had Mike Pritchard from Australia, and if he goes down to his local tackle shop, they will know Roatan lures. We were known as the Mercedes-Benz of lures because they were awesome. They were made such high quality. And I named the lure Roatan Lures after an island off the coast of Honduras because my father was a traveling salesman for the family business in Honduras. And Roatan Island is about 18 to 20 miles off the coast, the north coast of Honduras. So back when he was about 20, 22 years old, he would travel to the island on business and he would wear a suit. Back in the days, everybody wore a suit, right?
And a fedora.
The chane, or the mate that would take him on his panga with the little kicker in the back, would always ask my father for his handkerchief. And as they would cross from the mainland to the island, the mate would take the handkerchief, he'd split it in two, and then he would throw one hook on each side, and I shit you not, they'd be catching tuna. Yes, they were catching tuna, and my father loved to tell me that story, so I named the company Roatan Lures. The company grew very fast. We got a lot of publicity. We won our third year in, we won 8 major tournaments around the world.
Wow.
I mean, I'm talking Mexico, Cabo San Lucas, Isla Mujeres, Puerto Rico, the big Grand Slam tournament they do down there, tournaments in Australia, Japan, and Okinawa.
Wow.
They were catching, I have trophies from all over the world. That's just one of them, right?
How about Singapore? We got Ing Tang from Singapore.
Oh, nice. Singapore's got some good kingfish out there, good fishing out there. But
all this time I thought you were just a cigar guy.
No, man, I'm 3 things. I'm a doctor, fisherman, and cigar guy, and family man on the side, right?
And coffee.
And
And
coffee.
coffee.
Let's talk about the coffee. That's the
Yes, I love Mike.
That's the
Fantastic
story.
lures. Thank you, Mike. You're the man, brother.
My guess is you probably got a bit more depth than that too.
So, Dr.
you-
Gaby, why do you have in the works a cigar line that might kind of pay tribute or a little homage to your, fishing side?
You guys have another question? We could skip that one. Yes. So actually, right now, for the past 2 years, I've been personally in talks with a few. I'm not going to mention who they are, but there's 3 marine artists that I've been talking to, guys that know me and we know them, and there's a mutual respect for what we do. And my dream is to really create a cigar line that pays respect to the Billfish Foundation.
Oh, I love it.
Which is something that I really believe in. And I know there's guys out there. I'll mention 2 guys, which is okay. Guy Harvey and Kerry Chen.
Right.
These guys are very passionate about the Billfish Foundation. but there's other guys out there whose marine art is really, I think, not hasn't been discovered yet. And we're looking to possibly do something. I think, I don't want to speak out of turn, but it's going to happen in the next year.
Nice, very nice.
And
Well, I was thinking of a name. Just
Swordfish.
You know,
Swordfish.
no. Balau.
What?
Which one?
Balau. Because
Wow.
I love that name.
Right?
Yeah.
right? I mean, it's pronounced how though? Tell everybody.
Balao. Yeah, Balao. It's Balao. Yeah.
Right, and it is. But what does everybody else know? Anybody who's a fisherman will know this because it is the prized bait for
The ballyhoo.
ballyhoo.
I love ballyhoo.
Exactly.
Listen. We took. This is one of my crazy stories, right? My wife is about 7 months pregnant. I get a phone call from one of the big boat builders in Miami, and I had one of their boats, right? So they're like, "Hey, Gabby, we're planning a trip. We want to go from Miami to Isla Mujeres, Mexico, and we want to run the boat 470 miles across the Gulf and the Yucatan. We want to fish a show down there with a famous captain that passed away. He died. He crashed his own plane, but his name was Captain Jose Wehebe. He was on ESPN. He had a show called The Spanish Fly, and I get this phone call they wanted me on board. They said, we would feel safer having a doctor and an angler on board. And it's like Thursday night, they're leaving Friday. I'm like, okay. And I walk in the other room and I'm like, hey, Vivian, I'm leaving tomorrow. And she's like, where are you going? I said, well, we're going to Mexico. And she's like, do you have a flight? I'm like, no, we're running a boat across. And she's like, oh, hell no.
Go, Vivian.
I remember us going, this is back when Google Earth was just like getting started, 2005 or 6. And we're looking at that trip, and it was the most beautiful trip. Sunrise, early morning, we left Key West. And we really ran the entire coast of Cuba. I remember on the GPS seeing Hemingway's Marina as we're jetting across the north coast of Cuba, heading into the Yucatan, going to Isla Mujeres.
Wow.
So let me tell you guys something. When I'm the guy you don't want to sell life insurance to, okay? I'm that guy. But what's great is that a lot of people wonder, like, oh, wow, it's amazing that you've built this cigar company, this little company. My God, guys, I really have been blessed. I don't see challenges. I see opportunities. I don't see
Positive thinking.
Yeah, man. Positive thinking. Everything's exciting. And something, I've been blessed with a gift, and is knowing how to perceive things and knowing how to extract what is necessary to perform the task at hand. Because a lot of people get bogged down. And then what happens is they take on a business partner, they take on debt, they're insecure. And for me, there's no ego, there's no insecurity. I have faith in God, faith in my family, faith in myself, and just go, give it all you got, because we only get one chance on this fucking earth, Excuse my language, but
we'll edit that out later.
We do get it. You got to go for it.
It's a win-win situation. You got to tackle it head on and go for it.
So I'm on an island in the Bahamas in 2012, fishing the Hawks Cay Marlin tournament. And this was after we had already won 8 big game fishing tournaments around the world with different captains and different crews. And so we're in the Bahamas, right? And I remember the owner of that yacht that we were on, it was a 63-foot Bertram. The guy had an unlimited budget, right? So we're on this island for a month. Cat Island, it was called. I fished the island for a month. He wanted us to be down there early. He wanted us to scope the reef structure, the currents, the eddies, any rips. He wanted us to get to basically understand those waters if we were going to fish a big tournament there, right? So we fished the entire month. We probably fished 2-3 days a week, full days, right? Me and my buddy, Captain Bruce, who's actually now doing a big marlin tournament here in Miami, and we're going to be sponsoring that event.
Oh, nice.
But make a long story short, when the owners flew down, my buddies, I won't mention them. I'll leave them out of the story. I spent that entire month smoking Davidoffs and Cuban cigars, right? So I'm sitting here smoking $30 cigars the entire month. And the entire month, the first week was cool, second, third, fourth week. By the fourth week, I'm sitting there like, man, I go, there's got to be a cigar company out there that can deliver this quality for $8 or $9 or $10. Like, it's gotten ridiculous where the prices have gone, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I love Davidoff, but I think it's priced for a certain market.
Yeah,
I've always been very blue collar in my thinking. And so the day of the tournament, 15 minutes in, lines in, I think there was 72 boats at the tournament. We hook our first blue marlin.
Wow.
So what happened was, after winning 8 tournaments around the world, and then within 15 minutes, literally have a blue marlin dancing behind the boat, I had reached a pinnacle in offshore fishing. I felt like it wasn't really a challenge anymore.
Right.
Because I had caught everything. We had kind of won everything. We had fished everywhere. And I knew I wanted to pursue something that was more challenging. And it was on that trip that I decided to get into the cigar business.
That's pretty cool.
It is.
Wow.
That's awesome.
That's an amazing story.
It was destiny.
That's
It was
awesome.
Yeah.
I thought you'd be facing great whites, but that's
I've never had trouble with sharks. We did actually one night. We went sword fishing. Nighttime sword fishing in Florida is kind of fun because you're about 20 to 22 miles offshore in the straits.
Yep.
And we're fishing 1,800 foot waters, and you've got 4 or 5 lines out, different depths, and you're using the different glow sticks. You've seen all this stuff, I'm sure.
Frank has, for sure.
And we hooked onto a mako shark on that
Really?
trip.
Oh,
wow.
And I'll tell you what, one of the guy that we were with, I forgot his name. I think it was Matt. He starts raving about what a great eating shark it is, mako.
Right.
So we had about a 200-pound mako shark next to the boat, and he's like, I think after 3 hours we handed the rod off a couple times.
Whoa.
So when the fish was up to the boat, the shark, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to call it a fish. I went to gaff it.
call it Charlie.
Listen, that gaff bent. The skin on a mako is so
tough.
thick.
Yep.
And then that fish freaked out. It smacked the side of the hull like a brick.
Wow.
And the color, it was like a violet purple coming off of that skin. It was just insane. But that's really the only shark encounter that I've had offshore.
Did you bring it in at least?
No. We the thing broke off. After I tried to gaff it, it got pissed. Broke the line. We were using mono. A 300-pound mono couldn't take it.
Wow.
But it was a great time.
If you had, I'm assuming you fished some tarpon over the years. That's my love down there.
Tarpon.
Tarpon.
Tarpon's a great fish. Tarpon, snook and bonefish and permit.
Oh, not them all, but I mean big tarpon, especially out on the flats.
Yeah.
I like to fish for fish I can eat. Tarpon you can't eat, so why fish it?
There was a time in my evolution as an angler that I started fly fishing because you guys all remember that great movie with Brad Pitt, A River Runs Through It.
Yep.
Did you? If you haven't seen it, you got to go see it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great cigar movie. It's the type of movie you drink scotch and smoke a cigar, especially when he meets that broad in the bar. Remember?
Okay.
No, it's not. We're talking broads now. I don't know.
So I got into fly fishing.
Bada bing.
But let me tell you something. Fly fishing is really an art because what you're trying to do is to lead the fish, to present the bait in such a way where you don't spook it.
Mm-hmm.
Because all these fish that eat in the flats, they eat off the bottom. And a tarpon, on occasionally, if you throw a little cork to it, it'll eat on its way up. But yeah, but it's not so much about eating the fish. It's the challenge of not spooking it while you're trying to present the bait.
Nice.
Yeah, okay.
So I really did do all that stuff. It's amazing. I mean, I think nature is what makes us great as far as humans, whether you're into hunting or fishing or the great outdoors. It's really something beautiful. And that's what makes America great, is that we're an outdoor country,
We certainly are. And you certainly have done quite a bit. And
Kyle, did that answer your question?
Yeah.
Gabby,
I'm waiting for a
By the way,
Kafie. I'm waiting for
Go ahead,
Dr.
Kyle.
Kafie's fly lure tying a bit. He's going to break out his equipment and start tying some lures out here.
That's on the next show.
Listen, I down here in South Florida, there's a lot of the legends. God, I'm going to try to remember their names. These are close friends of mine when I was fishing. Guys like Al Pfluger. If you've ever heard of Pfluger reels or rods,
Sure.
I've had the pleasure to fish with Al Pfluger many times. He's still alive. He's about 82 right now. Another great angler was Tom Wolfe, who used to be president of Bank of America in the 70s, and he was a fishing buddy of mine, a guy that we've ran more boats. It's funny, every time I go fish, and he's going to kill me if he hears me, right? Every time I went with him, we always seemed to run the boat aground because he was running the boat, right?
Well, again, too much alcohol.
Yeah, exactly. He used to, Captain Morgan was his thing. I love it. That's funny. You're right. And then guys like Lefty Cray, Mark Zosin. I've got a friend of mine now that has a show on ESPN called Fishing in the Keys. It's also a Spanish version called Pescando en los Cayos. So, but you know what's great about fishing? Fishing like cigars is an activity that if you're bilingual, and I speak Spanish as well as I speak English, because everywhere you travel, like when we were in Mexico, the local mates, you have to understand each other. You can't just have a mate on your boat and you don't communicate well.
Sure.
I've been blessed to really, have a lot of fun. I don't know if I always think back if I regret anything that I've done. And I think the only thing I regret, and I'm being really honest, and it happens to all of us.
Well, you don't want to talk about that girl in Bahamas.
No, we all come across people. No, we all come across people, and we all, because we're people. We're all people persons. We're in a very social business, but sometimes you invest too much time in the wrong people. And it happens to all of us, man. But you know what? I don't think we ever lose.
Yeah.
I think if you give it your best shot, you do your best, you put your heart into things, and you just keep pursuing and trying to elevate everybody as well as yourself. There's no harm in that.
No,
not at all. Not at all.
It's a good thing.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
Hey, just to let you know, I had that San Geronimo. It's 2 hours smoking.
Wow.
I'm still smoking what I lit up at 7:30, and we're going to go on 2 hours here.
Nice.
So,
Beautiful.
Folks, really get hold of these cigars.
2 hours
They're
smoke.
absolutely spectacular. They taste great. I mean, where are you going to get a 2 hour cigar? You can't. And that was a fast 2 hours indeed. So we're going to kind of wrap it up. But I want you to just talk about the coffee line, because
Yes.
my wife will not let me alone. And she said, you didn't talk to about the coffee.
Yes.
And then we got to go stump the chooch.
So for me, I'm in the cigar world, we all speak of different tobaccos like Nicaragua, Honduras, Dominican Republic, Peru, Brazil, Mexico, Cameroon. Like everyone's so kind of like, because these terms have really become marketing terms for different companies, right?
Sure.
Oh, we use Esteli tobacco or Jalapa, or now it's Aganorsa. So every 5 years, it's a new trend, right? And I felt that cigar smokers needed a better coffee. And here I am sitting on, I guess, my wife's family legacy, which is, gosh, if I can't do the math. What was it, like 97 years of being in the coffee industry?
Wow.
And for me, what we drink in America is a lot of coffee blends. like
Stirred water.
yeah, well, it's coffee blends, and when you take, like, say if you bring in coffee from Colombia, they'll really take it from 10 different farms, they'll mix it, they'll sell it to you as Colombian coffee. And what you're getting is kind of a very diluted interpretation of what Colombian coffee is. So what I wanted to do with coffee was focus on coffee from one farm, single source, organic, fair trade, and really giving people the flavor of that region. So that, for example, we have a cigar that has a Sumatra wrapper. And so now I started roasting Sumatra coffee, but it's single source Sumatra coffee. And when you pair the two, it's like, I'm not going to say it because my wife might be listening. It's better than sex.
Oh.
I can say
also
better than sex. Yeah.
Well, yeah, no, but like, we're taking coffee from Brazil because our San Andres cigar, the box pressed, has filler from Brazil, Mata Fina. And then we're doing different things with coffee, trying to really create good pairings for our cigars. But what we have found is that it's the wives that are ordering the coffee, not the husbands.
It's true. Teresa's got an order going in from last night.
I've already looked at your website.
See, we already got some.
No.
Derek is already going to be ordering.
In my house, my wife orders coffee to be delivered from Costco because
Forget about Costco. You got to go cafe.
No, but it's not available in the stores.
Right.
It's a variety. They have it, but you have to order it from the company.
Well,
Right.
I'm telling you right now,
But
you order cafe,
His coffee is
and
delicious.
it is unbelievable.
Listen, tomorrow we'll get together. I'm going to send you guys a little gift basket of coffees and cigars for everybody to enjoy. And
Oh, thank you.
Thank you,
you know,
brother.
we're truly blessed. We don't do things looking for business. We kind of do it just to share. Yeah, I'm going to give you guys I'm going to make a confession here, and I think nobody in the cigar industry will believe me, but I think in the past 2 years, and you can ask Vivian, we have not called anybody to take an order.
Wow.
I bet.
Oh, yeah.
We were
It's-
just up in Daytona
yeah.
over at Karen Berger's superstore, Don.
Yeah.
And he's got they have the whole rack of your coffee there.
Yeah.
And
of course your cigars.
Yeah, she's
yeah.
fantastic. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's been a blessing to us. We support each other. We help each other.
She's
But
really
that's what business is about. It's about relationships and really helping each other out and making each other better.
Yeah.
That's it.
yeah.
That's
We're such a tiny industry. My personal belief, guys, and I guess if you want to close on this, when I got into the business of cigars, I really I did my own studies, right? And I came to the conclusion that there's about a 40% shortage of premium cigars in the US market.
Shortage?
Shortage. There is. And
How so?
Shortage means that there is a demand, but that's not being met.
I'll give you an example. Lito Gomez, Fuente, the Padron, they're not opening any more new accounts. And there's so many people that want to open new accounts. I mean, they're also, these guys are now catering to foreign markets as well. So there's a very limited supply of premium quality cigars. And I think even though last year was a record-breaking year for the premium cigar industry, I think that there's still a 40% shortage of cigars in the US.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Because see, the thing is, baby boomers comprise 65 million people in the US. The baby, which is, I hate to say it, a lot of you guys, right? The baby boomers.
Wait a minute. I'm still a baby.
All right, good.
Not me.
Not you,
Not
not
me.
you.
The last
me.
year of the boom.
I'm the youngest of
Right.
the boomers.
We're becoming not too much.
Yeah, but we're the ones smoking. We're spending our Social Security money.
But my point is, if you say 62 was the end of the baby boom,
Yeah.
I mean, we're all moving toward the end here.
Right.
Well, we are moving towards the end.
But you know what the virtual world has done is the next generation, right? The millennials coming in.
Yeah.
75 million millennials are discovering cigars.
Right.
Yeah,
And-
but
and-
they're
and-
offended.
No. That's what you think. No, not at all. Not at all. I think over the next 10 years, I think there's going to be a massive shortage of cigars in the U.S.
Absolutely.
Oh, I'm going to stock up now. Then.
Yeah.
I am stocked up. I'm good.
So speaking as a Gen Xer, you can poo-poo the millennials, right? But there's definitely a movement within that millennial Zennial group towards the traditional. And you can you can gripe about hipsters, and you can gripe about what they're doing. They're just jumping on the bandwagon.
Cigars and pipes are actually going up.
There's an appreciation for
There's
an appreciation for the handmade, the family run, and so there's a swing back. Unfortunately, all you're hearing about is all these the 1%,
the snowflakes,
the 1% of the squeaky wheels. That's what you're hearing.
Well, like Ang say, from the boomers to the zoomers.
yes,
Right?
yes.
Well, I can definitely say that at our pipe show, the Chicago Pipe Show, in the past few years, there have been a lot of people in their 20s who are now coming, buying, different pipes and tobaccos. They are getting involved, which is very good.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it is a beautiful thing. And of course, it keeps the industry going, obviously.
Right.
Yeah.
The thing also with the younger generation is it's like craft beer. Craft beer boom came about because the new generation doesn't want to smoke what grandpa or drink what grandpa used to drink.
Nobody wants a Budweiser when you
Yeah, right. And that's why right now we're seeing a boutique cigar boom, because it's this new generation that they want their own identity.
Exactly.
Right.
And I think that's 100% true.
Absolutely.
What's the same thing with all the boutique whiskey and bourbons?
Oh yeah, bourbon
exactly.
Bourbon has got such a. It's almost like the cigar boom of the '90s. Bourbon has become insane now.
Fantastic.
Which is great because I'm a bourbon drinker, so I welcome all these new bourbons.
Beautiful.
But yeah, it's great.
Well, Gabby, I would like to say, would you like to stay on for Cousin Frank Stump the Chooch?
That's funny, man. You know what, guys? I don't know what that is.
It's a Buddha.
It's Stump the Boodle.
I basically ask these guys and the audience some questions about history, and it usually revolves around this day in history because I love history. And we're so close to St. Patty's Day, I figured
Beautiful.
I'd get my
Nice.
I've reversed my fedora that way.
Like Uncle Floyd.
He does look like Uncle Floyd now. Now you need a big flared jacket,
I've got my St. Patty's Day fedora. So
You know what? He almost looks like
love
Junior
it.
from Sopranos. He almost looks like Junior.
Maybe he could be a junior.
Yeah. Glasses, yeah.
Wait.
Uncle
Uncle
Floyd.
Floyd. Oh, he's
You
a
don't know
big
him?
guy in
Oh,
Jersey.
it's a Jersey thing.
Well,
But-
actually, his brothers are he's Floyd Vivino, and his brothers are part of the band that now has been with
That's okay. I'm just gonna
on
say,
TV.
Floyd is not an Italian name.
No, it's
not-
but he's an Italian.
he's Italian.
But anyway, we're gonna do Stump the Chooch.
Huge family.
If
I
you
love
like
it. I
to
love
stay,
it.
I know you got to get on with Armin and Val's been on, but
It's okay, man. I love you guys. I'm grateful for the opportunity. It's been really awesome.
Thank you.
and we're honored to
We're
have you.
honored to
Thank you
have
so
you.
much.
Thank you.
And I got to live the past 20 years again with you guys, and it was awesome, man.
It's
I
nice
love
meeting
it. Thank you,
21
guys.
again, right?
Yeah.
Kyle, Frank, everybody, thank you.
Thank
What I'm
you.
going to do is I'm going to check out, but I'm still going to be watching you guys, all right?
Awesome.
Listen,
Thank you.
Thank
We
you.
will
Thank
talk
you
to
guys so much.
I'll talk to you tomorrow. And
All
thank
right.
you so much for everything you've done.
Thank you.
Thank you very
for
much.
coming on.
My
So,
pleasure, guys. It's been an honor.
Gaby Kafie, make sure you get on the website, order everything he's got. I'm telling you. And the coffee.
Everything.
Every
Love it.
cigar is fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank
Gabby,
you,
we'll
guys.
talk to you tomorrow. Thank you. Say hello to Vivian and the kids. for us.
I will. Thank you, guys.
Take
Love you.
care.
Bye-bye.
Everybody stay on board. We got this shirt coming out right now from Honest Abe. It's a shirt that's going to be for us on the show of Stump the Chooch.
Yes. No, you big guys don't bother because it ain't gonna stretch.
Andre is back. Andre, I don't think he's gonna fit yet.
Andre, it's a large. So
It's a large.
I don't know what
Andre.
size small, but that's it. Yeah.
I hope Andre lost some weight. It's a large.
Oh, Andre goes, the last 20 years, that's the length of this episode. Oh, it's 2 hours. All right. And what we got? I love the guy, one of the nicest guys I've ever met.
Absolutely
yes, Barry.
is. Absolutely
so true.
is.
So, Frank,
Okay.
quickly, give us
All right,
something
quickly,
quick
give
because
you-
we are in overtime.
All right, we're giving you two quick ones here. All right, 1940, this week in history. These two leaders met and agree to fight in a war against France and Britain. Who are the two leaders?
1940.
What 1940 is Charles
De
Gaulle, and what was the other one?
The two leaders to fight against France and Britain. Yeah. So if de Gaulle's gonna fight himself, I guess.
Churchill.
No, yo, to fight together in a war against. You people listen like I do. Not very well. You got your hearing aids in?
I got them. My batteries are low, though, Frank.
It was Hitler and Mussolini, you dummies.
Andre, you steered me wrong.
Oh, man. All right.
Hey, Kyle, would you put down the website? Bruce wants to know the website.
It's already there. It's already there.
No, Dave wants to know the website for Gabby.
It's already there.
All right, beautiful.
All right. 1967. No, well, yeah, it was 65. This person becomes the first man to walk in space. Who was he?
Buzz.
To walk in space.
Neil Armstrong.
No, he was not. He was not American.
He was a Russian guy.
Yeah, he was a Russian guy. I'm glad you guys really know your history.
Yuri Gagarin.
Alexei Leonov, Lieutenant Colonel, of course.
Yeah, we would know that.
I forgot his name. Yeah.
Well, you know,
I thought it was the chimp. Go ahead.
All right. This one is for the T-shirt. I'm sorry, guys. I'm only limiting.
All right.
Okay.
Not a T-shirt.
This is for the T-shirt.
All right, Kyle and I are going to be watching Facebook.
All right, let me go to the proper because now I lost it. Here we go. My favorite year, 1969, and there's a reason why it's my favorite year. Ronnie, you can probably say why.
The Mets.
The Mets. The Jets.
I thought it was the first Led Zeppelin album.
The Knicks.
Absolutely.
The Knicks, the Jets, and the Mets. All my.
It was the New York year.
That was the New York year. So,
Absolutely.
1969 was also a very special year for Disney. It releases this very popular movie, and it was based around an automobile. What was the movie?
Oh, easy. Oh, come on, nobody? This is an easy one.
The automobile was shaped in a very odd way.
Bruce Stark says Love Bug.
There we go. Bruce, my man Bruce. Bruce, we love you. Keep winning.
And then
Bruce, I already just sent the package out today. You couldn't wait?
Yeah, why would you send it out today? You know he's going to win tonight.
I know. I wanted to
You
tell
can
him.
always wait, Ron. Don't send anything out to Bruce until the following week, so you can double it up.
I say we wait a whole year and then send it on the steamer trunk.
you need to send Bruce his package on a monthly basis.
Andre, you disappointed me tonight, Andre.
Chitty bang bang.
Oh, God. Everybody
Gary,
answered
did you
right
try to
after
guess
Bruce did. I got Barry answering. I got Dave answering. Oh, man. Guys, sorry. Bruce is on top of his game. But on top of the game, we got to go. Guys, we can't thank you enough for all of your time and listening. It was a 2 hours and 4-minute show.
That's
so,
all?
Yeah, 124 minutes.
Seemed like 20 minutes.
To be exact.
To be exact. It was fantastic. I think we learned a lot, no question about it.
When you got somebody like Dr. Gaby on, I mean,
how can you not? And only that, and he's going to sponsor the show tomorrow. So we got a new sponsor.
Very good.
Anybody else wants to sponsor following Dr. Gaby? Look at the cigar.
Look at that cigar.
That is what Kyle just got today. That is an incredible cigar from
That's his brand new
Kafie
release.
1901, and it's going to be fantastic. I got to get mine.
I can't believe you didn't light that up, Kyle.
Oh man,
That's for a special occasion.
This is not for just a show. This is
Oh,
what
a
I'm
show
gonna
is
have.
special occasion.
That's for when I show up in town.
Oh,
All right,
there
I'm
you go.
I'm
So
holding
Frank,
you to that, Frank. I'm holding
got
you to
Dave.
that.
Dave is saying, just forget about questions. Just send every prize to Bruce.
Oh. Yeah, every Tuesday we'll just send something to
Yeah,
you.
go. It don't work that way, Dave.
Who is that? Dave who?
Dave from
Ellsworth?
Milwaukee.
Oh,
We'll-
the other day.
We'll see you at Arlington Pipes and Cigar this Saturday at the Chicago Pipe Club.
Yeah,
Hey,
don't forget to
everybody,
come down, man.
always looking for new members. Join us. We'll have a great time,
And
and
we'll feed you.
we'll feed you.
feed you.
Absolutely. And we'll give you a new pipe if you're a newbie, and we'll let you try all different types of tobacco.
Yes.
But from all of us to all of you, guys, have a great smoking week. Thank you so
See
much
you
for all
next
the
week,
support.
man.
And God
St.
bless.
Patty's Day,
Happy-
folks.
Happy St. Patty's Day.
Happy St. Patty's Day.
Good night, everybody.